Hi, this is just going to be a really quick video about buttons. And oh, for those of you who don't know, this is Harvey. Harvey's a hedgehog. Harvey is our executive producer of all of our YouTube videos, and this video had piqued his interest. He decided he needed to be here to oversee and supervise. He said the best way to do that is to actually be in the video. Today we're going to talk about buttons. So what's in the little cup? Well, in the little cup are all kinds of buttons. You don't need the cup. And here we just have a whole bunch of what appear to be white buttons. So you're thinking, well, that's pretty boring. What are we talking about buttons for? Well, buttons are important because they're the things you put your finger on when you got to push something to make it happen. So the backstory on this is, about 3 weeks ago, I published a video about a large amount of new old stock NuTone product that I picked up from a guy. Part of what was in that lot of stuff were a whole bunch of these. These are NuTone ISB53 white inside remote stations used for the IMA 516, also the IM 516, and also the very early 470 voice-only intercom systems. The very first one's called Communicom systems. There were quite a few of these. I don't remember the exact number. There were 15 or 16, I think. There were actually 2 master packs with 6 of these in each master pack. And the master packs had never been opened. They actually still had their plastic strapping strapped to the outside of them, which is the way they would have come from NuTone if I had ordered them brand new back in the day. So there were 12 of those, and then there were some loose ones, but everything was sealed up and it all looked fine. And you know, when you buy something like buying out a guy's stock, you take your chances, you get what you get. But it was a good haul, and I figured, well, these are popular and hard to come by, so it was a nice group of them, because lots of times people have discolored ones or broken ones and they need 4 or 5 at a time, and that works out pretty well when you have 15 or 16 of them. As we were working through things, I had another dealer contacted me and he needed one, and I said, yeah, I've got a whole bunch of them. He ordered one from us, and of course, before we send something like this out, we have to open it up to take a look. And when I went to open it up just to make sure everything was right and good with the world, I opened it up, I took it out of the plastic bag, got the little screw pack here which you need to install it with, and when I flipped it over, look at what I saw. I saw this. The face plates are white, but the little buttons and the knob for the volume control, the knob's a little hard to see, but on the edge right here you can see these have turned yellow. Why is that? Well, my guess would be that since these were in the box and they were sealed up, oh, and all of them are like this. In fact, there's one that's even worse because the grill is even discolored. Because these were in their box and they were all sealed up, and I don't know where this guy had all this stuff stored or how long it was stored for. I'm guessing that it was in some location where it was really, really hot. And that would kind of make sense because all of this came from a dealer that used to be in Las Vegas. And it gets pretty hot in Las Vegas, I have a feeling. So I'm pretty sure that the buttons have discolored due to heat, not to UV rays and sunlight. This is not really acceptable. We actually opened all of them up, and sure enough, to some degree or another, they all turned yellow. And that's kind of disappointing. Fortunately for us, we have advanced whitening technology. So what I did was, I took 6 of them to start with, and I took them all apart, and I took off all the yellowed buttons, and I re-whitened them all. And I'm very proud to say, I don't think anybody else could do that, or would even do that. Only here at Northside Service are we that laser focused on what we do that we actually will take brand new things apart and fix them up so that they'll look usable again. So let's go ahead and put one back together and see what we get. So this is one of the ones that I took apart to gain access to the buttons so I could re-whiten it, and it did indeed look very much like this when I started. These are kind of fussy to work on because the switchboard is held on buy all the screws on the back, 6 screws, because it's a 6-wire system, and 1 little screw down here, number 7, to hold it on the back of the faceplate on all the little standoffs. The other thing that makes these tricky is all of these push button caps, they all have offsets, which means that the portion of the cap right here in the center is not in the center, it's offset to the top or to the bottom, and you have to get it lined up the right way, otherwise they don't fit through the holes in the grill properly. So these are kind of a pain in the neck, and to be really honest with you, I don't remember which way the offsets go, but I believe that they go towards the top, I think. Put that one on there. Nope, that's the wrong one. That one goes there, maybe. So we'll try one, because I do think that they're all the same. So that one, the offset is facing up. So we'll try this one and this one. See, this is one of those kind of things that once you do it once, you'll know how to do it, but until you do it once, it's just a pain in the neck. And I think this one goes this way. That's right. I think that's right. Look at that. Just like a professional. Alright, so once you put the little button caps back on the stems of the push button switches, then you have to put all the screws back in, because it's really the screws that hold it all in place. The 7th screw is smaller and a different size than the other 6, so don't get them mixed up if you were ever to do this yourself. This was actually a fairly common thing to do back in the day, not to take it apart to fix button caps that had yellowed, but to do a field service call. And every once in a while you'd get one of these where one of the push button switches would go bad. And the byproduct of that usually would be either you couldn't talk to the front door, or you couldn't hear, or you couldn't talk to the inside stations. It was a talk button problem. Usually we always suspect that it's from rough handling, but they weren't very problematic very often. So, you know, it's not that big of a deal. So now we've got our caps back in place, but we have to deal with the volume control. Now the volume controls on these are a little weird, because they, unlike other NuTone volume control knobs, they don't have any kind of way to affix to the volume control pot, the part that turns, other than a dab of glue. So I will glue these, but for the purposes of this demonstration, we're just going to push it on for right now. And there we have our brand new old stock ISB 53 white inside station with its newly re-whitened button caps, thanks to our advanced whitening technology, something that no one else is doing. And here we have the before, and here we have the after. I'm pretty sure the guy in South Carolina that wants this one will be happy with it. I'm also pretty certain that he'd be really cheesed off at me about this one. So now all I have to do is put that together 5 more of these, so I have some to sell. And then I have to do the other 10 or so, so I have to take them all apart, re-whiten all the button caps, then put them all back together, and all that kind of stuff. We also should test each one as we go, just to make sure there's no problems with it, because, you know, we don't want people to get angry if it doesn't work, especially because we've taken it apart. So, Harvey said that this was obviously a very successful video, thanks to his input. Harvey's kind of a slave driver. When he gets something in his mind that we should do, we're going to end up having to do it, because he's not going to be happy with anything any other way. I hope you found this interesting and perhaps helpful. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up on YouTube, because that always helps. Also, the Association of YouTube Producers that Harvey belongs to, they keep track of how many thumbs up he gets on the videos that he produces. And he's in the running for, at least according to him, another medal. This is the medal he won before for something he did around here. We're not exactly sure what it was, but he says it was important and he gets respect because of it. There'll be a banner right here that shows you how to subscribe. Go to our YouTube homepage, click on the bell or on the wheel, put in your email address, and every time we post a new video, you'll get a notification and you can watch it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.